Hey guys, welcome to our first lesson where we're going to clean up the lines. I'll show you to do this using a digitalized sketch you have handy. I'm going to use my drawing here of a fruit-inspired girl, so you could prepare something similar. The first thing to bear in mind is what brush to use to clean the lines and the way we're going to use it. We're looking for more of a paint effect though, and not a super clean ink outline, so the stroke doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to use this brush you see here. It's number 36 with some adjustments. With these modifications, I get a stroke similar to a pencil. I think this suits the style I'm going for. If you're not so sure, you can try out different brushes that Photoshop offers you. You can make your own, or you could search online for brushes that other artists offer for download. There are lots of possibilities, so use the resources you have. See how the way I'm cleaning my lines is not excessively precise? That's just what I'm looking for. It works and it defines the drawing, but it's not too perfect. We're looking for a painterly style, so we want to blend in the line and the colour in some areas. Something you could consider when you're doing the line art is the thickness of the line. In some areas, you could make the line thicker and thinner in others. In this case, I'm playing around with the volumes, the parts that stick in and out to determine how thick I want the line. This also depends on your own personal taste. Try and make it appear loose and relaxed. A drawing with the same outline all over could work in some cases, but for this style, I recommend this way. Try out different things and see what you think looks good. If you've drawn things on your sketch that don't quite convince you or you want to change, you can do that in this phase, as this is kind of like a second cleaning of the sketch. As you can see, I've changed things like the eyelashes, the pupils, or the nose. Change all the things that you need. If you think something doesn't work, you could look for references from other artists to help you. I always use this resource when I'm drawing, and you'll see how gradually you start to define your own personal style. In some areas, I recommend that you add more detail, like the eyebrows, for example. As you see, I've added some lines to represent the hair of the eyebrows. Well, you can do this all over the drawing. If you want, you can also increase the level of anatomy of your drawing. Or you could also include some shading in some areas to complement the line art. The hair also needs some detail. Anything that you can add that fits in with your style will look great. Remember that the perspective and the anatomy need to be correct. For this reason, if there are areas in your drawing that are difficult to understand or you don't like them too much, just search for references of what those elements really look like or how other artists draw them and correct them. With this trick, you can correct lots of perspective problems in your drawing. See how I did it with the mouth? I selected the area I wanted to modify with the lasso tool and used the transform tool to adjust the angle or position of the element. This way we can readjust the things we don't like until we get a convincing solution. I'm going to draw the orange slice that she's using as a hair clip. If you don't know how to draw this piece of fruit, then you'll need a reference. Look for images of what it is you need. You can use this resource for any object you want to add to your drawings. Maybe you find drawing objects more difficult, as we're usually more accustomed to drawing human anatomy, or it's what we know from the top of our head. So we can find references of everyday objects to help us out. When drawing the hair, make sure to give the line a nice and realistic effect. Hair isn't easy to draw, so see how I draw the locks, ending each one at a point. Even loose lines might help achieve a nice result. Remember that the hair always starts at a certain point, so the lines you draw need to follow that. You can't really have random lines. We know the main shapes of the orange because we studied it or we had a reference, so now we're going to outline the slices. I'll speed up until they're all finished. Now we can carry on with the hair. The hair is divided into sections and we need to draw this depending on where the hair starts. It's something really important to bear in mind, otherwise we'll end up with a mess. You need to do the same with the lines that are inside the hair. They all correspond with different tension points. So consider the shapes and the volume of the hair to follow the correct directions. If an area has more volume, then you need to reflect this with the lines, or the same for an area with less volume. Finally, when you're done, hide the sketch layer to see how it looks. Nice, right? Now, the next step is to apply the base colours to our drawing. So I hope you're enjoying the course so far. I'll see you in the next lesson.